Hello, I'm Jerrod Roberts with Flourish Pharmacy, where our goal is to help you feel better faster. Today I have Jake with us, who is one of our compounding specialists here at Flourish Pharmacy. You know, Oklahoma is known for a lot of great things, and one thing we're very well known for is our weather. The old saying goes that if you don't like the weather, just hang out. In a little bit it's going to change, and that's in the same day. Now, one of the things over the years that I've noticed that this has resulted in is a lot of us have chronic sinus problems. And they could be anything from dust to bacteria to fungal, or some people, especially those that go back to the doctor 2 to 3 times a year, they seem to get on an antibiotic and then they get better and then they get off, and within a month or two the infection comes back again. So that really stimulated us in the compounding lab to think about how can we help address this in a unique way, because obviously what we found is that commercially available products just were not hitting the symptoms like we would hope they would. So Jake, why don't you share with us a little bit about what we've done and what some of the options may be out there for treatments?
Yeah, so like Jerrod said, typically you kind of think of the oral antibiotic that you'll take for a little while, but we kind of started asking ourselves, well, what would it look like if we could get the medicine to the site of the infection instead of having to cover the whole body to hit right there in the sinuses where it's at? What if we put the medicine right where it needs to be? And then we kind of realized that in the lab we have the capability to compound any combination of medication, of an antibiotic, antifungal, steroids. We can compound these things together in a capsule form to be used in a nasal rinse that many people in this situation are already using.
That's true. You know, so a lot of them, when we started, one of the gold standards was a sinus rinse called a NeilMed. It's a great product, been around for a long time, and it helps actually, you know, every time I mow, this is what we use to help clear out those sinuses so we don't get those infections. We've switched and started to use a lot more of these, what they call ChitoRhino. It's a unique name. So what was the basis of switching to this particular product?
So yeah, similar idea, similar layout with the bottle and same use. The difference that we liked a lot was the packet that came with it. So the buffer packet, like you'll find in the NeilMed, in that buffer packet there's actually an ingredient called chitosan, and it actually helps to not only decrease the burn, but also to break apart the biofilms, which a lot of times these bugs in our nose will bind together and a biofilm will form around them, making it hard to penetrate in to fight the infection. And we found that this packet, this chitosan in there, actually helps to break apart that biofilm so our medication can penetrate even better.
So it's a unique delivery, which is like a lot of our compounding products that we do, is that it's not take a pill a day and go forth. So why don't you explain a little bit, how does this thing work, and what helps the patients out here?
All right, when you get your prescription filled here at Flourish, you'll get a box that looks like this, and what's going to come in it is a bottle. If you have a capsule, we'll actually give you a funnel as well to help get the medication in, and your buffer packet. And so the first thing you want to do is add your distilled water. You'll fill it up to that 240 milliliter line there. Then what you want to do is add your packet to it. And the last step, you can use your funnel for this. You want to take apart that capsule and then dump the contents of the capsule into there as well. Make sure to get all that in and tap any excess down into it. And then you just reapply that and give it a little swirl, and it should readily dissolve into it so that it gets pretty evenly spread out. And the next step is just to flush out the sinuses.
So main difference here too is that we see a lot of nasal sprays. They're over the counter. There's a lot of steroids out there. They're going to hit the sinuses. They go with this, and it's going to relieve the inflammation in the sinuses. This is going to not only hit the sinuses, but we're also going to go through the sinus cavity to help. So it's both a way to flush out the allergen or the causative agent, but also get that steroid in there. So it's a great way to, instead of trying to go by mouth, to go everywhere to try to penetrate sinuses, which are really, really hard to penetrate, is to put it right where it is. And that is a common theme in our compounding lab too, is that we want to customize it based on what you need and what's not commercially being available out there for you. Well, I hope it's been helpful for you all, and I hope that if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call, and we'll be glad to talk to you about this or any other special need that you may have. Until next time.